Hi students, welcome to Akshar online classes and I am your chemistry faculty for your IIT Foundation. Dear students, from today onwards we are going to start the IIT Foundation classes for you. Students, what I am going to teach you, listen carefully. Try to understand each and every topic. Try to understand the concepts clearly. And whatever we are writing on the screen, on the board, that you have to note down. Yes, maintain a perfect note, students, so that it helps you a lot. So students, today I am going to take you a topic called the classification of matter. Okay, classification of matter. So students, see here what is matter first. Matter means anything which has a mass and occupy the space. Matter means what? Which has a mass and occupy in space. Okay, so for example, if I have this pen is a matter. Yes or no? This is matter. Why? Because it has some mass, okay, and occupying some space. Okay, so this is called a matter. So matter means anything which has a mass and occupies space is called matter. So see students, whatever you see around you, that all comes under the matter. Okay, for example, I am here and just I watch my surroundings. And when I watch my surroundings, I can find here electric lamps. This is a matter because lamp has some mass and occupying some space. Then when I turn here, I can see the AC. AC also has a mass and occupying so much space. Yes or no? So this is a matter. Then if I come here, I can see the board here. So this board also has a mass, okay, and occupying the space. So this also matter. And you, me, everything, animals, okay, also matter. Okay, so I'm also occupying some space and I'm mass. So I'm a matter. Okay, so students, anything which has a mass and occupy the space is called as a matter. Whatever you see around us, that all comes under matter. But students, remember that. Can you see the air? No, you can't see the air. But air also comes under matter, students. Okay? Why? Because air also has a mass and it occupying the space. Yes or no? For example, if you want to check whether air has a mass and occupying the space, you can take one balloon and blow the balloon with the air. So what happens? The balloon is filled with the air. So balloon becomes big. Okay, so now inside what is there? Air is there. So air is occupying that much space. Yes or no? Now that balloon, if you measure the mass, okay, so then you can see it has some mass. Okay, so air is invisible to us, but still it is a mass. It is a matter. Oh, is it clear, students? So today's our topic is matter and its classification. Okay, students. So here you can see now. Right. So here today's our topic is classification of matter. Classification of matter. Now just now we discussed about the matter. Matter means what? Anything which has a mass and occupies space. Okay. So matter means what? Which has a mass. Anything which has a mass and occupies space. Okay, this is the matter. Is this clear to you? Anything which has mass and occupy the space is called as a matter. Okay, now let us see the classification of matter. Classification is what? Dividing or separating. Yes. So that separating. For example, you see in your school, you have a classes from nursery, LKG, UKG, first, second, third up to 10th. Yes or no? So here, what the school management is doing, they are classifying the students based on their knowledge. Yes or no? If any students, when a small student is coming like 3 years, 2.5 years, 3 years old, boy or girl is coming, baby is coming, then he doesn't know anything. So that's what is kept in the nursery. Okay? Who knows little bit A, B, C, D like alphabet, then they sent into the LKG. Those who knows like A, B, C, D is 1, 2, 3, 4 and they can know A for apple, B for boy, then they shift to the UKG. So like that students are classified based on their knowledge. Yes or no? So in like here also, how we are going to classify the how we are going to classify the matter? This today we are going to learn. Okay, so students, see, very important. Once again, I'm telling, try to concentrate on the explanation, try to understand the concepts. Okay, and what we are writing here, that you note down, maintain a perfect notes, which helps you a lot, students. Okay, right. Now let's go to the next topic. Yeah, so here you see now, matter definition is there here. So matter, okay, so matter is defined as anything that has mass and occupies space. So this is a definition of matter, students. Okay, now what is matter? What I can give an example for the matter? Everything that you see here, everything that you see around you. Like example, of course here you cannot see but you can feel. Yes. Okay, and water, animals, clothes and more is made up of matter. So these all comes under matter, students. Whenever they ask you to give an example for matter, just simple you see around you, whatever you can see, that all you write there. So they all comes under the matter. Is this clear? Okay, so our topic is classification of matter. But before going to the classification of matter, students, we let us see. Sorry, students. So the characteristics of particles of matter. So here you see, students, you know that any matter is made up of a tiny particles. Yes or no? Any matter is made up of a tiny particles. Tiny particles will join together to form a matter. Okay, big matter. For example, you see this pen is there. This pen, this is one piece. Now if I apply some force on it, so I can break it into two pieces. Yes or no? I can break it into two pieces. Again, if I take one piece, again if I apply force, again I can break it. So like this, continuously I'll break and break and break and continue this. So finally what happens? Finally I'll get a small particle. Yes or no? That small particles I'll get. Yes, that small particles are called atom, that we discuss in the later classes. But overall, so these small particles are combining and forming this matter. Okay, so any matter is made up of a tiny particles. Is this clear? And this matter consists of so many large number of particles it's made up of, right? So now what are these characteristics? Let us see, students, here. So here the first character is that all matter is composed by a very small particles which can exist independently. So see, students, any matter, whatever you take, this pen, paper, whatever you want to, you can take. Okay, so any matter you take, that is composed by a very small particles, which can exist independently. I think we have learned in the air also. Okay, you know that air is a mixture of gases. Yes, students, air is a mixture of gases. So air consists of what are the gases present here? Try. Yeah, very good. So oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, like this many things are present and all makes up air. So air is a mixture of gases and that consists of oxygen, nitrogen, like all these gases, all these particles. Yes or no? So like this, any matter is made up of a tiny particles. Okay. And second one is that particles of matter have space between them. Yes, students. So here, generally, when the particles are combining, between them some space will be there. Okay, there's a space between them. How can we prove that there's a space between them? Okay, now it's simply and short I'll explain you. But when this topic comes, I'll explain you detail. I'll explain you see here. See students here, you might have learned in the lower classes somewhere one story. So you might have heard one story that there is one crow. Okay, yes, there's one crow and the crow was thirsty. Yes, and there was one vessel. Okay, I'm drawing something like this. So there is one vessel, and in this vessel only water till here only the water is there. Okay, so water till here only the water is there. Okay, now this crow is sitting here want to have a water. Okay, but it cannot able to take the water. It cannot able to drink the water in it. Yes, so this is actually water level. See here, this is a water level. Okay, now crow cannot able to drink the water because water inside. Okay, now what happened? What the crow has done? Do you know the story? So now crow dropped some stones here. Okay, so it's dropped some stones. When the stones are dropping here, so what's happening? The water level is increasing. So the water level increased. Yes or no? Now the crow happily, okay, had the water. This you know. Okay. So meaning is what? When you drop the solid pieces here, then what's happening? Water level is increasing. This you might have learned. Okay, now the same thing I'm going to explain by using some other things. Now students, what you do, okay, at home you take one transparent glass. Okay, transparent means glass tumbler. Okay, so one which is made by the glass. Okay, now you take some water, students. Okay, you take some water here. Take some water. Okay, so this is the water. Now after taking the water, you draw one mark to the level of water. Okay, so you mark one line up to exactly to the level of water like this. Now you take certain amount of salt you take, not stone, salt. Okay, a little amount of salt you take from the spoon and drop the salt inside. Okay, and drop the salt inside and then perform a spoon you stir it till it completely dissolves. It completely dissolves. Okay, now after dissolving, let water comes to rest. Wait till water comes to rest. When totally water comes to rest, now see the level, check the level of water. Whether the water level increases, right? So dear students, here the water level will not increase. Water level remains the same. Here water level remains the same. After adding a small amount of salt also, the water level remains same. Why? Because whatever the salt we are added, that salt occupied the space between the water molecules. Between the water molecules, there is some space. That same space was occupied by this salt particles. So from this experiment, we say that particles have space between them. Okay, so students, when this topic comes, I'll more detail and explain you. Okay, now similarly, particles of matter are continuously moving. So see students, here also particles will be moving continuously in the matter, but of course we can't see them. Why? This I'll explain you, don't worry. Now similarly, particles of matter attract each other. So these are the 4 important characteristics. I'm going to discuss this all in detail in the next classes. Okay, so the 4 characteristics. As of now, you learn these 4 characteristics. First one, all matter is composed of very small particles which can exist independently. Particles of matter have the spaces between them. Particles of matter continuously moving. Particles of matter attract each other. Okay, so students, here you note down this sentences, very important. Okay, Right, students? So that I can go for the next slide, next topic. Okay. So, yeah. So now our topic, main topic, what I said, classification of the matter. Yes, classification of the matter. So here we came now, classification of matter. So this is a classification. How can we classify the matter? See students, matter can be classified in different ways. Okay, one is based on their physical state. Okay, one is called the physical classification, that is depends on the state. You know, state means phase, like solids, liquids, gases. Okay, and the second one is what? Okay, based on the chemical classification. So two types of them, or we can say based on the composition. Okay, so based on two ways we can classify the matter. Okay, the first one is what? First one is based on the physical classification, and the second one is what? Second one is the chemical classification. Okay, so see here two principal ways of classifying matter according to its. One is based on the physical state, and the second one is called based on the composition, that is called as a chemical classification. Okay, so students, today we are in this topic, classification of first topic, we are going to discuss about the physical classification. Okay, not about the chemical classification, only about the physical classification. So physical classification, based on that, matter can be classified into three types. Okay, how many types are? Three types. So physical, based on the physical classification, they are classified into three types. One is called solid, second one is called liquid, and third one is called the gaseous state. Yes or no? You know what are solid, what are liquid, what are gases? You are in 7th class, so you know, I think you know. Okay, so for example, okay, here I have got this pen. Is this pen is a solid or liquid or gas? It is a solid. It is what? Solid. Okay, if I have something, this also pen. Okay, my specs are there. So these are specs are there. Is this spec solid, liquid or gas? It is solid, right? Now you drink the water. Now water comes under the solid, liquid or gas? Liquid. Okay. Now coffee, tea, milk, okay, petrol, kerosene, oils, all this comes under which state? Liquid state, right? Now third one is what? Gases. Air. Just how we discussed that. Air is a mixture of gases. Okay? Like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. All of these are what? These are the gases. Okay? So students, so matter, already discussed about the matter. Matter means anything which has a mass and occupy the space. Yes? Now this matter is mainly classified into three types. Okay? One are called solid. First I will give you some examples. So examples are what? I can write book. Book is a solid. Okay? Pen is a solid. Yes? So this is some example for, or you can write chain, anything you can write. Now liquid. Liquid is what? Water. Water is liquid. Oils. Okay? Oils also liquid. Okay, now come to the gaseous state. What is the gaseous state? Like oxygen. Okay, O2. Other than oxygen. Okay, and nitrogen. Okay, so these are the gases. So students, mainly the matter is classified into three types based on their state: solid, liquid, and gases. Other two more types also there, students, but as you are in 7th class, so I am not going to discuss about the two more stages. So two more types of classification also that we discuss in the higher classes later. Is this clear, students? So this is about the classification based on the physical. Okay, is it done? So note down everything. So then go for the next one. Alright? Yes. Okay, students. Now let's go to the next one. These are other type of classification. This classification based on composition, students. What is by the composition? What with what? matter, particles it is made up of. Okay, how it is made up of. So that is called composition. So based on the composition, matter is mainly classified into two types, students. Okay, one is called pure substance and the second one is called mixture. Okay, so based on what this is? Based on the composition. Composition is what, how these particles are made up of. Okay, how this matter is made up of. Okay, so based on this, the matter is classified into two types, students. One is called pure substance and the second one is mixture. See, students, here again pure substance is classified into two types called elements and compounds. Elements and compounds. Okay, now let's come to the mixtures. Mixture again is also classified into two types called homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous and heterogeneous. Okay, again heterogeneous is classified into two types called colloids, okay, and suspensions. Colloids and suspension. So this is chemical classification, students. Physical classification and chemical classification. So physical classification based on their phases, means based on their state. Okay, in which state they exist, the solid, liquid or gas. And chemical classification based on the composition, how it is made up of, composition. Okay, how it is made up of. So based on how they are made up of, the matter is classified into mainly two types called as the pure substances and mixtures. Again pure substances are classified into again two types called elements and compounds. Okay, now other one is what, mixtures. Mixtures also again they are classified into two types called as the homogeneous and heterogeneous. Okay, again heterogeneous is classified into two types called colloids and okay, suspensions. Is this clear, students? So this all the classification. Okay, so for today class, students, this it's okay. So we stop here. So today now what I explained, hope you understood. Okay, and read it first. I said, you know, first maintain the notes, write everything, read it perfectly, learn. Okay, time by time. Okay, don't post in learning, don't postpone. Okay, is this clear now? Now once again we go to the back. Now let's brief revision for today's class. So matter means anything which has a mass and occupy the space. Today's our topic is classification of matter. Okay, this is under the part of Akshara IT Foundation Chemistry. Okay, now here matter, anything which has a mass and occupy the space, and whatever you see around us, that is comes under matter. And matter has, these are the following characteristics. Okay, all matter is composed of very small particles which can exist independently. Particles of matter have space between them. Particles of matter continuously moving. Particles of matter attract each other. Then here mainly two types of classification we do based on the matter. First one based on the physical state, and second one is based on the composition. Based on physical state, solid, liquid, gases. And example, book and pen for solid, water and oil for liquid, oxygen, nitrogen or the for gases, right? Now other type of classification based on the composition, they are matter. Matter is classified into two types called pure substance and mixture. Pure substance again two types called compound and elements. Mixtures two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. And heterogeneous again two types called colloidal and suspensions. So students, for today we stop the class here. Okay, in the next class we continue with the same topic. Okay, thank you students.